Hi everyone and Mia's tribe. Mia told me to come in 2 weeks ago and share what I've been doing. Where almost 2 weeks ago I actually hit it. So this is a delayed celebration video sharing how I hit a goal that I set for April 2017 to generate and attract 10K in income, or just money, right? And so, hey folks who are jumping on, I just wanted to share briefly, I'm kind of in between client work, and I was like, I don't want Mia to yell at me because I haven't come in yet to share this. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Quanisha Green. I'm the founder of the Black Women Rise movement, and many people know me as the Black Woman CEO, where I help entrepreneurial Black women who are ready to, hey Mia, yay, you're here, who are ready to essentially take charge of their lives and businesses to make a smooth transition between that startup and growth phases by learning how to get paid and do what they love. So me, what was it, late December, January? I think it was in January. I signed up to do the courses on how to leverage your expertise, how to build a business from home, that whole 3-set course. She said, screaming for you over here, so proud of you. You are crushing it. Thank you. And so through the courses with Mia, I started to really think about what did it mean to leverage what I know and what I knew as a coach, as a trainer. I'm a coach in the Happy Black Woman community. I have, even in my own professions, built and taught people how to do sales, how to leverage their entrepreneurship and their genius to start getting paid. I was doing it myself. I had a lot of early success going full-time as an entrepreneur back in 2015 and launching the Black Women Rise movement. And I was doing the coaching, but through the courses with Mia, one, I'm all about being a star student. So I was I have to implement what I'm learning. And really, how do you build out these systems and structures, particularly since I was going to be home in January with my baby, right? I have 2 kids. She said, you know your target market and your message is so good. Thank you. And so I just had a baby in August, and so I was coming off of maternity leave too when I found Mia. One, I was searching for her because I was a stressed out mom, oh my God, how do I do this? And I knew I was going to have the baby home with me full time. And at the time, my 5-year-old was, well, then 4, was home with me part time. And now, because of the business, I've been able to send him back to school full time. And now I'm with the baby, and I'm working on getting him into some part time support to help because as I build out the business. But then with Mia, also the course made me think about. So I had all these basically epiphanies due to the course. Was also thinking about how am I monetizing some of the free things that I created. I had a Mind Your Business challenge that was a 7-day challenge where as of January, 500 women had been through it. And I was like, what happened if I start charging for this, right? And then doing it regularly. And then from that, I also positioned invitations for strategy sessions, which I hadn't really done strategically before. And that's how I started to get some high-level coaching clients, right? And I think in January, I did a video on how I was generating money passively, where I set the system up where as soon as someone signs up for my community, they automatically see a landing page inviting them to join the Mind Your Business Challenge. To me, it said, yeah, boom, right? And even in February, because of the coursework I did with Mia, I did a promotion Black Women CEO Success. And that led to about 500 women signing up to my list. And about every day I was sharing, repurposing even, right? So working smart, not harder, repurposing content. I had Black women CEOs who did some live trainings, and then I was sharing quotes and different things. And I rehired a VA that I had, and she did my social media. So when Mia talks about having teams and leverage, I did that. And then the coaching that I was doing in the Black Women CEO coaching program, I recorded more modules. I had some modules recorded, but I recorded more modules and created something called the Profit School. So people can do that just as a digital course by itself. And then I had different levels that people can come in and do it where they have private coaching with me. So that was another way that I leveraged, once again, information that I was almost teaching over and over again and put it in a structure. So Mia said, love you showed up for yourself. Thank you. And put it in a structure. But I will say along this journey, I started to have some challenges, right? So about in February, even though I was generating some money and going, I felt stuck. And I started to have this inner thought of questioning, like, oh, what's the point of life? And for those who don't know, my deep background is that I am I guess a suicide attempt survivor. I don't know what the word would be, but a lot of my even early work with the Black Women Rise movement was founded on the strategies that I used to save my life. And so once again, thinking about Mia, I got a hypnotherapist, so I got support. So I was part of building my team, and she really helped me dig out and heal from some trauma. And also, she was a business coach, so it was just like the stuff that I learned with Mia and her was just like tag teaming. So she was helping me getting like the mindset pieces together, and I just felt renewed. And because I already had this foundation through our teachings and Mia's program that like I can leverage what I know, I was like, hey, I did a 7-day restorative journey for Black women who wanted to get closer to their purpose and get in realignment. I was like, why don't I extend this to 21 days and sell it? So even while I'm fleshing out and getting my life back together, thanks, Yazara, she said, congratulations, and getting my life back together, why don't I invite women to join me on this journey? So I did that. So I took all this, and I had the 21-day journey, a restorative journey for Black women. It was a self-care journey I called the 21-day revival. And so that went into like, we just ended in early April. So it was like late March, mid-March to early April. And then that led to people signing up for my higher level offer. It was like 21 days. So I did $1 a day. They paid $21. And one person from there signed up to my higher level program. So she paid $21 and then invested $19.97, right, to do the profit school. And some of this is such a faith walk, and I created this intention that I am safe, secure, and supported. So honestly, I kind of feel like, yes, I have business systems and processes in place, but God has just been showing up to supply my needs, right? So some of this, I'm like, I don't know where these clients are coming from, but I do, because I have the systems and support and the signature process. I know how to do strategy sessions, right? I know how to do all these things. So when they show up, I know what to do, right? And I have systems in place. But essentially, I've been doing challenges. I have the Mind Your Business Challenge. I had the 21-day revival, which was a 21-day challenge, back to self. So I've been taking my knowledge and putting it into a challenge format. And then from there, I invite people, I basically position my strategy sessions like, are you still stuck? Right? Because some of them get stuck along the way. And I'm like, let's talk so I can help you get unstuck and get clarity, right? And once again, because of Mia, I also then put all my services on a Work With Me page, and I shared it in our group, and a courses page. So I've had people go to the Work With Me page and just book a profit planning session for like $397. That happened last week. And I was like, you know what? If it wasn't for Mia, and if I hadn't had set up this page, I would have lost out on $397, right? So there's so much, but it's like getting the processes in place, the mindset work, believing that you are a valuable resource, that people will pay you for your genius and what you know. And then just getting out there and doing it. Mia says, love your transparency. You put in your team so you could show up like a giant girl. You did this. Thank you. And she said, you've been working it. Thank you, Mia. I'm just so excited. So like one, just believing that you have valuable information, taking the time, dedicating the time to put the systems in place, as well as, figuring out who needs to be on your team. Like, I know I need mental health professionals, right? I need to do mindset work because of my history of trauma and all these other things, which have almost like resolved themselves. I feel like a new person, but once again, I'm doing my mindset practice every single day, right? Speaking who you want to be and reminding yourself of the vision that you have for yourself in your life keeps that very present. Sorry, an alarm went off. I'm sure Mia does mindset work in Core Moms. I'm not in that, although I'm thinking about it, Mia. So I'm coming back to you on that one. Right? So having a regular mindset practice and then looking at what has worked for you. So I noticed that, of course, before that I got clients from challenges, and that for some reason, Black ladies, the Black women, the highly educated and ambitious Black women that I deal with, they like challenges. So I've just been like repurposing or like relaunching my challenges as live experiences, creating private Facebook groups and doing it. And then, of course, making sure that the offer is there to talk to me, to have a strategy session, a clarity session. And that's what we explore, if and how we can work together in my signature program, which is the Profit School. And I also, the brand clarity is like Mia told me the other day, I needed to like basically make sure my presence reflected I want to say my brand was in alignment with how I show up in a way, like, right? Like, not so much that I'm luxurious, but like I'm a professional brand. I'm an expert, and that my work needed to look like that, right? So I, made a new banner, and I got new branding colors and some other things to make sure that all that was resonating. And people definitely have been resonating with the Black Woman CEO and the purple and pink. And, my header says I'm helping you get, client and, client and cash clarity. And people have just been resonating with that. So as I got clear on who I was, my purpose, and what I strategically do, of, like, you can say my unique selling proposition and worldview, I'm just making sure that that's very prominent, right? So that people can instantly think like, oh, Quanisha, cash and, client clarity, right? Black woman CEO. So that's another piece. Mia said, makes sense. Don't you guys love how she's crushing the live stream with baby until, oh yes. So this is Jeffrey, who hangs out with me, who has a little fuzz in his hair. And we just got off a profit planning session with the client. And that's another thing that I realized that, Mia, in the course, you talked about like when you work best, which, originally was like at 9 p.m. And I also took charge of that. Of saying, like, I tell my clients before they get on the phone with me, like, hey, I have a non-traditional business. My baby's at home. If he cries, take time away, I'll give it to you back. And I was feeling like before, like insecure about that, or that something was wrong with being a mompreneur. So I've also just been standing just more firmly on like, this is my life, this is how I want to live it, this is how I work, and attracting people who want the same for their life. And they're like, I love that I see your baby, I love that you're showing us how to do it. So there's been a lot of that. She said, you're a beautiful and smart being. This live stream is so motivating. Love that. 100% authentic. Yeah. So I definitely still have more places to go with the mindset and putting systems in place. I originally had a VA from the Philippines, and I realized that I'm not giving her as much work because sometimes I don't know if she can really get it, like my Black woman CEO-ness, and like duplicate my voice. So I still have some places to grow with letting go, right? So that I can allow other people to support me. Now that I hit a 10K month, some of my limiting beliefs are like, can I do it again? So I have my last session with my hypnotherapist. So actually, I probably need to invest in some more. But so we're going to work on some of those things that, like what Guy Hendricks calls like the upper limit problem. So now that I'm reaching these upper limits, I have some, I guess like new beliefs, like limiting beliefs that have come up that wouldn't have come up before because I wasn't at 10K a month. So I'm working on that. And right now I just did a business kickstart challenge, and people are in that. It's a 5-day challenge. And I plan this week to actually sit down and think about what does the next 2 quarters look like, and really making sure that I'm being strategic about that and putting systems in place so I can have some evergreen and things in rotation where the systems are just building my list and making sure the conversations come in, or I have a webinar that's selling for me. So that's kind of my next step. So thank you, Mia, once again for your support. Thank you everyone for your love and encouragement with like looking at my pages and all these different things like that and giving me feedback. And even just the like pats on the back, right? Just let me know I was going the right way. And thank you, Shayla, for like some of the private messages too. I just really appreciate this community and everyone. And I've been really strategic about who I'm investing in. And, before I used to invest from like, oh my gosh, I don't know, let me get clarity. And it's not, now I'm investing strategically, like looking at my business and saying, is this someplace I need to learn? Is this a weakness that needs to be strengthened? How can I get support in that? Which is a whole different orientation to business investing. And a lot of the online courses that I did with Mia really helps with that, as well as the Periscope trainings, right? I have the access to that too. So no matter where you are in this process, if you're in Core Moms or you just invested in, Mia's genius that she has created systems around, my whole thing is do the work. Do the work, show up and do the work, because one, that's your way of showing the universe that you really do believe that these things will manifest for you, right? You can't receive if you're not out there like going and knocking and seeking, right? And asking for what you desire and what you want, right? With the idea that this will show up for you. So that's my, I guess, real success tip, right? Is believing and then making sure you're doing that and it works, that to understand that you do have value, that you're a valuable resource and people will pay you for your genius. Samia said, love you and just love this. Thank you. Love you too. She said, that's right. Do the work, show up. That's right. Show up and show out. That's what I tell my ladies. Show up and show out. All right, everyone. So I will check in later. As you see, my baby's all over the place and I need to get back to work. So I will see you all soon. And thank you, Mia, once again for the invitation to come and share what I'm doing with everyone. All right, everyone. Bye.